Hi everybody, and thanks for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to make something really simple, really delicious, but not so healthy, but still it's good. It is deviled eggs. We're making these in preparation for tomorrow's Thanksgiving feast. Real simple. You need a pot, you need water, you need eggs, and you're going to need some mayonnaise and paprika. So first step is to boil your eggs. Okay, just fill it up, the water, just so it's covering all the eggs by about a good, well, let's say 2 fingers. And put it on high heat covered. Okay, if you want the water to boil a little faster, just add an impurity like table salt or sea salt. Once you've let the eggs boil, you're going to pour out the boiling water and add cool water. Our technique is to make the water just bearable enough so you can hold the eggs. So we're not going to let them cool, and we're going to peel them while they're still hot. Okay, the hard-boiled eggs are now peeled. We're going to cool them in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and then we'll proceed with the recipe. Alright, we let these eggs cool in the fridge for about an hour. I like to let them cool so they get firm, so when you cut them to get the yolks out, everything just breaks apart that much easier. You don't want to pile these things up on anything except for a single layer, because as they cool, they'll get a flat spot, and if they're piled on top of one another, they'll have multiple flat spots, and they just won't be as aesthetic as you'd like. So I'm just going to grab a regular paring knife and slice these down the long axis of the egg, right down the middle. And I've got my bowl ready here. Then I'm just going to pop the yolk out in, and if you do it gently, it'll come out clean, like that. We'll set these aside because we still will rinse these later. And as always, we'll do a little banjo music to speed this up. Okay, we have 2 eggs left. We've gathered all the yolks in this little mixing bowl. You see the yolks come out pretty easy, but there is a little bit of residue left in the egg in some cases, like here. And since this is in preparation for the Thanksgiving Day meal tomorrow, aesthetics again are important. So when I'm done with all these eggs, I'm going to go ahead and rinse all the whites just to get that little yolk remnant off. Oh, that's the first one I broke, and you saw it. I think we can fix that. But we'll rinse these in cold water, and then we'll prepare the mix. Alright, while the whites dry after rinsing them, I'm going to go ahead and work on the inside of the eggs. And this has a ton of variants, but I just do something simple. You take your egg yolks and you just add a little Miracle Whip. But first we have to mash these up, and we're just going to use the tines of a regular salad fork. There's a whole bunch of different variants for the deviled eggs, but mine is just relatively straightforward. I'm just going to crush up the egg yolks, and I'm going to spoon in some Miracle Whip until I have a nice paste that is easily spoonable, if that's a word, into the remaining egg whites. Okay, I've got the yolks broken down in pretty much a nice crumbly powder, so I'm going to start adding the Miracle Whip. Now, there's a ton of variants here. Some people like to add crushed or minced onions. Some people add shallots. Some people add Dijon mustard. Of course, you'll salt and pepper to taste, but simple taste for me is Miracle Whip. There's a giant heaping tablespoon. We'll mix that in there. And the consistency I'm going for is not quite creamy, but moist enough to be easily spreadable into the egg white. So there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, just a little bit in there, tiny bit of pepper, then I'll start the assembly line of spooning this with a teaspoon back into the eggs. Alright, we are ready to finish these deviled eggs. We've got our creamy mixture here, the Miracle Whip with the salt and pepper and the egg yolks. We've got all our egg whites here, washed and dried. Now we're just going to use a teaspoon and start putting the eggs back together. Since we're a small family, we're just having a few guests, I can do this by hand with a spoon, that's fine. In the past, if you have a large group to entertain, it might be more timely, or it might be a more efficient, easier time to use like a pastry bag. Just squirt it in there. And then you can also create a nice little design using, the different tips on the pastry bag. But this is fine like this. Got the presentation tray done. So now we'll do the resupply tray. Yeah, there we go. About an hour total prep time to do about 36 deviled eggs halves. But we'll just saran wrap these and put them in the fridge overnight. There's the backup tray and there's the presentation tray. Simple, delicious, traditional. I hope you try it and I hope you love them. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and thanks for watching.